Welcome back to Hood Fishing, everybody. 20 minutes into this hike and the wind starts kicking up. Typical, let me tell you, typical. So we are out in the Bonacary Spillway, but this spillway is not a traditional spillway in the sense of traditional spillways. It is more like a giant floodplain. Up this way, past Airline, you'll find the Mississippi River. It's a good ways up there, and up there you'll see what looks like a weir, a giant weir. Some people, locals, they'll call it the pins because there's all these railroad ties. Now, when the river is really high above flood stage, it'll start to come through those pins. And when it's threatening New Orleans and other places, they'll pull those pins and let more water come in. That's why they call this a spillway. It's where the river will spill in. So you don't have water flowing through here all year round, not to the levels that you'll have when the river is really high. You will have some water movement in here. So this is giant. It is huge. It is full of water. There's a lot of ponds, big and small, canals, standing water here and there. There's some in the trees, and that's why we're here today. I'm here with Angel, a subscriber of mine. We are on another big hike. We're probably going to bushwhack a little bit. We're coming really deep. We're going towards Lake Pontchartrain. If you're curious, general area of where I'm at today. Like I said, that's Airline over there. We're nowhere near the area where we were last time when I did a bushwhack into here, but we're doing something similar, but totally different. What does that mean? Let me show you. Come on, let's go. It is early December. It's actually a Monday. Today it's not going to get out of the 50s. The warmest it'll get is maybe 59. So this track that we're walking down is an ATV track. You're not going to see vehicles going down it. Maybe once in a while you'll see a game warden or somebody driving down this, but trucks and cars can't gain access to this. So people don't really come down here very often, even though you see these tracks looking fresh. People don't come down here very often to fish. It's just a few ATV people that'll be here on the weekend. So we're gonna be looking for places that don't get a lot of angler pressure. We've got this big pond here on our left, but we're going to skip it for the moment and get on down here a ways. All right, I guess I will. All right, so now we're getting close to where we want to fish. Look at this. To the left of this, there's a food plot, and also it's a wildlife habitat area. It just says here, no vehicles allowed. So it means you can't take your ATVs on that side. We're just to play safe. We're going to stay to the right. But of course, that's where I planned to fish anyway. All right, this is the bit of water that we were hiking along when I said to the right is where we want to fish. This is what was to the right. It is long and a little wide as you start down there, and right here it gets narrow, and then we're on the shallow side, and it gets skinny, like I said, going this way, and it goes back there a bit further, but I think it widens up a little bit. We are going to faff about here. We're going to mess around right here for a second because we do see V-lines. But this isn't the end of the journey. This is just a stop on the road. I'm gonna throw a Cinco weightless here. It's a watermelon red. It's on an /3. Now, this is interesting because we got a lot of stumps to fish. And like I said, I did see V-lines going through here. Other than that, I don't have too many expectations with this. I'm gonna fish this Cinco pretty slow going through here. What I do like about this spot is that it's out of the wind, which means I can fish this Cinco fairly easily weightless. A lot of other places that are more open, like the ponds that we first came across, the wind is a little higher there, which makes fishing weightless a little more difficult. And I really want to get deep into this spillway to find places where people don't fish very often. Usually you do better doing that. Whoa! Man, I just wasn't ready there. Look at this, guys. I just missed a fish. You know what that means? That means there's bowfin back here. Now that we know what's up, we've identified a possible species. We are going to compact our bait down, because when you're fishing in an area where there's bowfin, shoe pig, or grindle, all three names, one fish. You want a compact bait, because if you're going to use something longer like what I started with, like a Cinco or a speed worm, you can catch them with those, but you're going to go through a lot. This is a Rage Tail by Strike King. We're going to start with this because it's a watermelon color, and then we'll move on to another more compact bait. Let's see if we can throw this weightless. I've never thrown this bait before. All right, we're down at the end of this. There's a culvert we'll show you in a second over by him. There's fish here, you can see them. Let's see how this bait works. Oh, it sinks really slow. It seems that you can fish this bait fairly good weightless. It seems to be doing fine, but you got to fish it slow and hop it. Give it time to sink. It is a slow sinker, but not as bad as the Cincos they make. Strike King stick baits sink a lot slower than this thing is sinking, if that gives you any idea. Oh, nice. It's always you that gets the first fish. That's a nice, decent looking fish there. Decent looking fish, dude. Nice. We're bushwhacking our way up the opposite side now, going towards the airline. All right, guys, we've bushwhacked just about as far as we can. We've come up dead ends everywhere. There's just water in our way everywhere we go, but that's okay. That means we can fish more. Let's see what we can do. There's a lot of water surrounded by us now. Every time I walk back up from going on a journey, this happens. You switch to the Cinco.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Oh! 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 It's all coming up angel today. I've just been missing gar bites left and right with that other little bait I'm throwing. That is like a couple of pounds or better. Definitely over 2 pounds, dude. Whoa. Out of shallow water. Tricky, tricky, tricky. There we go. This is what we just crossed. Huh. Everything's coming up angel. We've already fished this. Yeah, we're just back. Big old bushwhack, and I still haven't caught a fish yet. Losing light. Nice. My first fish. He took it out of nowhere too. All day long following Angel, watching him catch fish. Missing gar bites off that Strike King crawl lure. Switch back to the watermelon Cinco.
Yes, sir.
He's about a pound. Look how tore up he is. Look at that. I must just not been fishing good today.
Huh.
But honestly, that Strike King bait, the spotted gar, just loved it. Yeah, look at that. Something was tearing him up. He's a little nicked up on this side too. All right, buddy. I hope you have better days. Yeah, you're right. Look at this, guys. We were doing a battery switch and he pulled a fish up off a stump. Nice pounder again. Let's see that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Whoa. All right, little red-eyed dink. He must be hung over. Go back. This bit of water that I'm fishing is really, really shallow and clear. Bass are running out of that culvert right there and coming up in here and feeding because there's a lot of bait, and they're also coming from that end of the canal. You can see them feeding, and you'll see them shoot out from that culvert. That culvert leads to where I just caught that dink. I'm gonna dead stick this right here. Let's put on the top water. All right, let's throw a whopper plopper out here. Ooh, big one just came out of that pipe. What was that?
I thought I had something.
There we go, one for the whopper plopper. It's a nice one. Nice. Losing light too. All right, we just got back in the house. That was a really long day of walking around in the mud. These guys are really happy that I'm back. Angel was just absolutely on fire out there. Normally when he goes bass fishing, he doesn't catch that many. So it goes to show that if you want to get out in the spillway and catch fish, you got to get out into the spillway and catch fish. You got to go far deep into it. There's a lot of water. The community, come on guys, the community spots aren't always like hot places to go, but getting deep down into that spillway if you can is what's up, is what's up. In the end, I did okay. But man, I was just surprised. Every time I turned around, Angel was getting a fish out, which is really good. Good for him. I'm really happy that he had a really great time out there. And I did too. So I'm happy to be home. And I'm happy to say this. Like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you next time.